Welcome back, and we'll continue our interview with Mr. Ooh La La. And we were going to start out by asking about your all-time best promoter.
Well, you said that before the break. I was about to just tell you right then and there, because there's no question, no doubt about it. J.T. Pritchett, without a doubt. And keep in mind, I've been in this business for 21 years, and I've worked for dozens of promoters. Some of them good, some of them bad. Most of them are kind of bad because of the egos, whatnot. J.T. Pritchett, a gentleman's gentleman. A family man, God-fearing man, church-going man. Would always call Thanksgiving, Christmas, wish you Merry Christmas. Gave people the breaks that they needed. Some deserved it, some didn't. He's like a dad to me. And you don't forget about your roots. I started off with Buster Jumper, God rest his soul, he passed. But of all-time promoters, J.T. Pritchett is, always will be, the absolute best wrestling promoter ever. In fact, half of the UWE roster started off in Sooner Pro. And if they were here with me, they'd all be jumping up with their hands held high into the air saying, yeah, he is the man.
Is he from this area?
He's from Westville, actually.
Okay.
Just can't say enough nice things about the guy, and which is strange for Mr. Ooh La La to say something nice, but yeah, he's a great guy. He's really, really, I mean, you wouldn't think he was a promoter, because you refer to the promoter as a boss. I call him Dad. That's just how he's great.
Well, for the wrestling, the new wrestling fans that are watching our show today, what does the UWE stand for?
United Wrestling Entertainment. It was, to my understanding, it was going to be Elite Wrestling Entertainment, EWE. U. That's a sheep. So, well, I like it. I like the name of it. It reminds me of the old UWF, which was Universal Wrestling Federation, which Mid-South eventually became. It's a great company. They've got a great website. They've got a great roster. They've got a great ring. I've worked in many rings where they were put together and looked like Fat Albert put together in a junkyard. Just overall, we got a hardcore following of people that religiously go to these shows. I myself live in Enid. It's a 3-hour drive for me to get here. I couldn't get here because of the snow. Some of these people live further and they made it just to watch us, which really means a lot to me. So,
where all do you perform?
We stay within Cherokee County. There are going to be some other venues in the future. They're talking about Wagner, they're talking about Muskogee, they're talking about other places, but this is the home, and I mean, I can't blame them. I grew up here, and I can't help but look at the foreground and the back. I see that courthouse, my chest just swells with pride. I see Statue of Liberty, you know, same thing. I guess it'd fall along the lines of how Tulsans feel about the Tulsa Driller, or how people from New York City feel about oh gosh, that was a hard one. I about said Madison Square Garden, but I'm thinking more along the lines of maybe the Empire State Building. So. Well,
I have a good question here for you. And you arrived in the UWE last September and
yes.
debuted at the Talking Leaves Job Corps gym. And how does it feel to get a title shot a year and a month later in the same place you debuted?
It feels great, because I tell you, when I showed up with Femolition, nobody knew who I was, and they heard the music, and I intentionally waited a little bit, and people were looking like, okay, is he coming out, whatnot. I show up in these feathered boas, wearing this hot pink, and people are looking at me like, what's going on here? All the way to the point to where I locked up, people were thinking, what's this guy's trip? What's his problem? But then when I locked up, he's like, oh, he's got a mean streak. So that's just a psych out.
Okay, you said Femolition. What is a Femolition?
Femolition's not a what, it's a who, and a very sexy who, I might say. She is my current manager. Now, I say manager because we started off with her, but then she found another manager for me. I don't want to say that he surpasses her, but Femolition's great. She has basically showed me how and what to do to get to where I'm at, because when I first got to the UWE, I've had some notoriety from other feds, and I was about here and I was sort of recognizable. That's why I had to go with the deep colors, because in my other wrestling venues I was under a different name, wearing black. So I kind of had to mask that to get people to forget about that and take notice of Mr. Ooh La La. Now, I was told to make an impact. Bam! I came in and made a very loud noise. I basically broke the door down and invited myself to just sit down and eat somebody else's sandwich, and loudly.
Well, why were you banned from wearing the glove, and what kind of a glove?
Oh dear.
Because I heard all about this. And
I know, Patty. I'm going to be totally honest with you. I stole that idea from Ted DiBiase. I stole it. I didn't come up with it. I stole it. I used to wear an orthopedic glove. It wasn't orthopedic. I'll be honest with you, Patty. We're cool, because there's something else I'm going to let you in on when the camera's shut off. But I used to wear this glove, and I'd have a foreign object in my trunks, and when the referee wasn't looking, I'd load it up and hit my opponent. I know you're shocked and appalled. I'm sorry for that, Patty Hale. I hope you don't think any less of Mr. Ooh La La for it, but it got me wins. See, this is what Femilition's all about. She showed me how to hide this stuff. She showed me.
To a woman.
Yes, ma'am. And Femilition, she is the woman. She's awesome. Trust me, she's awesome. She even found, we'll talk about my new manager in a minute, but yeah, she promotes me. She makes sure my name is out there. Explanation mark. Boom.
Well, give me your take on Super Clash.
Super Clash. Oh boy. I was having a good time up until when you said that. That's okay though. I'm going to replace the bad memory with the good memory, but I'm going to start off on this. Super Clash was the very first championship series. I was supposed to be champion that night. At least that's what my confidence was telling me. I was going to be the very first UWE champ. Didn't happen because of Field's interference, but that's okay. I was going to try to get a rematch for the next month at No Holds Barred. He already called the CEO on the cell phone when our match was over, because I was ready to go into round 2, because I had advanced and he didn't. When that didn't happen and I was going to go call the CEO myself, he said, "Oh, I'd already talked to Phil. You're in a lumberjack match next month with him." Are you crazy? I want my championship title. And of course, she said, "I tell you what, Showdown is the big one. Save it for then." But then the Texarkana title has come into play, and that's when I kind of thought, you know, let Big Smooth and Jonathan Cross have it out. And my props to you, Jonathan Cross. I know you're going to take Big Smooth.
Well, I'm going to stop you there, because there's something that's very important that we need to get out in this segment. And is your new manager really doing you justice? Is that Chet Holleran? Because I just adore Chet. Oh, you do? You have a T-shirt.
You know, Patty, I got to say this. You mentioned him, Chet Holleran. Do you mind?
No, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Femilition Inc. proudly presents the Tower of Power, too sweet to be sour, funky like a monkey, the kiss that don't miss. He turned down GQ to entertain you. He is the willing, led by the annoying, undoing the impossible for the ungrateful, doing so much for so long for so little that he's absolutely positively qualified to tell you that you don't know enough to know what you know. You know, the CEO of the Holleran Network, Chet Holleran. Dang it.
You do that so well.
Well,
do you have any more T-shirts? Because I so want one.
You got it.
All right, thank you.
But you see, I am privileged to have this because I got access to this channel. But very few people have access to this channel. Very few people have access to Casa de Holleran. I was there. The man loves chocolate.
Yes.
With that being said, Chet Holleran, you have been impossible to get a hold of on the phone. I've been calling. I know what's going on in Coweta with the dog fights. You haven't been answering my emails. You haven't been answering my phone calls. We're going to have some words later.
Okay, and when you find him, let me know. I'm looking for him too. Well, I appreciate you coming to the studio today, and it's been such a joy interviewing you. I've learned so much. I know our viewers have too. Will you come back and see us?
Yes, ma'am, I will.
And good luck on your next bout.
Thank you very much. You know what? I got this. And this is what I'm going to tell you about when the cameras go off.
We'll be right back.